Hey everyone, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We are in the first week of May, believe it or not. The 2nd until the 6th, the year is flying by. We've got retail, we've got low print, and some upcoming imports, not necessarily from this week, because it's Golden Week in Japan, so they're all on their jollies. Now remember, once we get to 100,000 subscribers, we're giving away a Nintendo Switch OLED model to one of you, so quickly subscribe and we can get there quicker. And yeah, so it's Golden Week in Japan, but the West is also having a bit of a breather, it seems, since this week at retail, there is the magical sum of bugger all. Well, aside from a couple of collector's editions of Among Us in North America. They have the Imposter Edition and the more expensive Ejected Edition. The actual normal editions of these have been out a good while already, but those extra goodies take time to ship from Chinese factories, and I'm sure they'll all be quality. So let's quickly head into the low prints. Thankfully, there are some games this week. Superliminal is Super Rare's latest Switch release, going up for pre-order on Thursday in both a standard and collector's edition. I always find their choices of collector's editions a little bit strange. I mean, I'm not one to decide which games get collector's editions or not, but a 2-hour puzzle game does not scream needs a badass collector's edition. Although in their favor, Limited Run and Strictly Limited, they'd give a collector's edition to a fart in a bag, so, you know, at least they know how to be chill about it. That aside, this is a fairly acclaimed game. Some reviewed it very highly, some scorned at the short runtime for the price, but most agree the puzzles are good and fun, which is the most important thing I would say for a puzzle game. Any of you played this before? Let me know. And our executive producer Thorn Metal Luna has chosen this as his pick of the week. Baldo the Guardian Owl is a game literally everyone on the planet wanted to do well. It looked so good during the development. Why? Well, it obviously looked a bit like Ni no Kuni, which in turn was helped out by its design by Studio Ghibli. And we all love a game that's inspired by Studio Ghibli. How could that possibly go wrong? Well, Baldo went wrong. Awful performance, bugs, glitches, and unintuitive gameplay. This crushed many a heart. Thankfully, since its release, many issues have been fixed, but not wholly, especially in some janky gameplay segments, but it's also had some free DLC, adding 10 hours more content. I think I want to give it another chance. I don't know. I've been in those relationships before, you know, they say they've changed, they say they've improved, and hey, they do look a little bit better. But no, they're still wankers, and they still want to ruin your life. But I'm still open to it, I'm one of those guys. This is releasing from Pix Unlove. There is going to be a retail release, I think, but there is a collector's edition available for pre-order on the 3rd on their website. You get an art book, a CD, and that's all you really need in my opinion. And our executive producer Robotech has chosen this as his pick of the week. He's taking a chance. Mayhem Brawler is Red Hot Games' latest Switch release. Yep, those guys are a once-per-week company once again, and there's no Christmas due that they have to pay for. Maybe they need the cash for their summer jollies. I mean, the south of France is not a cheap destination. Anyways, this is another beat-em-up. Yeah, the genre that's having a massive comeback. I really think River City Girls and Streets of Rage 4, they really helped bring back more devs to giving the genre a shot. In fact, this looks very much like Streets of Rage 4, going for a similar art style. Who'd have thought that when they revealed the art style for SOR 4, it was really quite divisive, but it turned out quite well in the end. Inspirational even. You can pre-order this from Red Art Games right now and get 10% off with SwitchWatch 10. And our executive producer Vey has chosen this as his pick of the week. Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space is from Limited Run, their second Sam & Max release, and I'm pretty sure they have another one lined up at a later date. I'm sure I would probably enjoy these games if I played them from Telltale Games when they used to, you know, when they were at their height and not pumping out licensed tie-in after licensed tie-in. And you can pre-order this one on May 6th in a standard or collector's edition. And our executive producers Viz and Grant Cert have chosen this as their pick of the week. So yeah, there's no import stuff this week. It's Golden Week in Japan, so they're all sunbathing on Mount Fuji. I don't know what they do, but they're on holiday. They're not doing anything. So let's have a look at all the upcoming imports like later this year where you can get your pre-orders in. It's been a while since we touched base on this one. Some big hitters like Chrono Cross and Saga Scarlet Grace, they've gone out the door, so let's see what else is happening. Any good stuff in Japan? And just remember that these are import exclusives at the time of writing. Maybe they will get a Western announcement later on, don't be mad at me. And remember guys, if any of them take your fancy and you'd like to get your pre-orders in, then consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you click those links and buy something, then it helps support this Let's Get Physical series and me personally ever so much. This series and myself would not be who they are without you. Yes, I would literally not exist. Well, maybe. I don't know about that. You guys are wonderful, and of course, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Plus, in return, if you click our links, then you can get a very nice 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia if you use our discount code Jordan. Yes, I just love Space Jam so much. That's Jordan for 5% off any physical item when checking out on PlayAsia if you click our links. Alright, let's see what's coming up the rest of this year, at least that's been announced so far. Overlord, Escape from NAZARICK is a 2D action-adventure game hitting Japanese stores physically on June 12th. This is looking pretty sweet with a Castlevania vibe, but I'm also getting some essence of the classic Bionic Commando, what with that funky, grappling, hooky, swingy thing. Badass! You get equipment, level up, use funky powers. This is looking, shall we say, funky. Despite PlayAsia not updating the listing, the developer does say that it will have English. Of course, I think a Western publisher would be mad, absolutely mental not to pick this one up, but this Japanese version is a certainty. And there's a collector's edition too that you can pre-order right now. Don't wait until it sells out. And it comes with the soundtrack, which doesn't specify if it's CD or a download right now. There's also a book and a diorama. And our executive producer Cartoon Soren has chosen this as his pick of the upcoming imports. If you want something even more Castlevania-y and something even more Symphony of the Night-y, then you may want to keep your eyes on Koumajou Remilia Scarlet Symphony. I don't think I messed that up at all. Arriving physically in Japan, July 28th. I mean, this is straight up, unashamedly Symphony of the Night, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it, but the fact that it looks absolutely smegging-tastic. It's great to see such an appreciation if Konami are going to do bugger all with the franchise. Again, there's a standard edition as well as a collector's edition. I do think that this may come to the West physically as well, but I mean, there's no news, absolutely zero news, but I have a suspicious feeling that Red Art Games might do this. I have zero insider info, but I just have a feeling in my toes. Well, somewhere else, but not my toes, but I don't want to say. We'll have to see, Or you can just pre-order this Japanese version. 7 Pirates H might be the biggest import coming up for those who are fans of pirates and for those who are fans of boobs, and I'm pretty sure there's a large overlap there. This is a tongue-in-cheek JRPG that's a PlayAsia exclusive, should be shipping next week actually. Fingers crossed. The collector's edition sold out quite a while ago, but you should grab the standard edition if not already. I'm not expecting a great game, I'm expecting a lot of ridiculous boobs. And our executive producers, Issa, God of Resin, Jennifer M, and JCross7776, they've chosen this as their pick of the upcoming imports. Townsment Kingdom Rebuilt is releasing in Japan May 26th. This is a town management builder, as you can imagine, and it's a port of a mobile game. Looks alright despite some mobile mechanics drifting its way into the mechanics. It reminds me of old school PC games. Even though PlayAsia doesn't mention English, it really should have it, as the Japanese eShop version has English, so why would this not? We'll see. Surprised there's no Western physical, as THQ pretty much make everything physical. That's their specialty. The Centennial Case, a Shijima story, is releasing May 26th. This is an FMV game from Square Enix, which is bizarre in itself, but it's a mystery detective game set over a 100-year gap. Collect clues, establish a hypothesis, and use logic to break through the mysteries. I'm absolutely fascinated by this one, and although I'm not shocked there's no Western physical announced, we've got the Japanese physical to take care of us. It supports English, and our executive producers Jonathan Rumor, Brent McLean, and Santa Tartaruga have chosen this as their pick of the upcoming imports. Star Melody. Yumemi Dreamer was supposed to release physically late last month, but it appears to have been pushed back to later this month. This is a visual novel that has elements of a simple rhythm game and basic RPG system. It's episodic in its nature, a few bite-sized episodes thrown together in this package, and it's available in English in Asian regions. The Japanese physical release does not have English. Dead by Daylight's Ultimate Edition is hopefully the ultimate edition of this game. Japan has had so many versions of this game, and although it looks to be the most packed version yet, it's not actually complete, as it does seem to miss the Silent Hill and Resident Evil packs that we've seen before. And once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm not sure if all this content is on the cartridge or is a download. We'll have to see. Indigo 7 is an upcoming physical release from Kosen. It's an action puzzle game where I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. It looks like a match 3 type game, but it's one of those that you need to get in your hands to fully understand. A trailer doesn't really help. There's a standard edition as well as a collector's edition if you want to pre-order, coming June 2nd. Loopers is also coming the same day. This is a short-ish VN from Key, finally getting an English release. Although I say finally, it's one of Key's newer titles published on PC last year. While those who read the Japanese version wouldn't say it's the best the team has to offer, we'll see what the English translation does have to offer from Prototype. This game was written by the same dude who had much hands in the Higurashi and Umineko series, so expectations were very high. Deiland Pocket Edition is releasing in Japan June 30th. This is a life farming sim set on cute little planets. It looks absolutely adorable. Now, I believe there are plans to bring this one physically to the West, as it's been mentioned by the developers, but there's been no official announcement as of yet that I have seen. We'll have to see. No idea how that's going to turn out. Hong Kong Massacre is releasing physically in Asian regions. This is a top-down action game, kind of looking like Hotline Miami, but perhaps a little bit darker. Prepare for over-the-top action as you do flips and slides as though you're in the Matrix or something. Heard a good few people enjoy this one, so you may want to add it to your physical collection on June 30th. Not heard anything about a Western physical. LoveKami Trilogy is one of PlayAsia exclusives, 3 of the LoveKami games in one package, for a rather reasonable price, I would say. They're not quite cheap digitally at full price, so this does offer some saucy value if you need some busty goddesses in your life. Who doesn't? Both the standard and collector's edition are still in stock, and they should be sent out sometime in June. Dungeon Munchies, not to be confused with Dungeon Encounters, although I guess Dungeon Encounters can turn into Munchies if you haven't snacked for a while. But yeah, this is a side-scrolling action game where you cook the monsters with recipes. The digital release didn't particularly land well, but maybe this style of game didn't whet some people's appetite. July 26th for this one in Japan, and our executive producer Parsnip Coffee has chosen this as a pick of the upcoming imports. Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 is releasing on July 28th in Japan and Asia. The Asian version definitely has English. Japan is not confirmed yet, but I would be shocked I tell you, if it didn't, with its standard and collector's edition. Now, also be quite surprised if this didn't get a Western physical. There's still a lot of time to find out, but we all know Limited Run have first dibs on this one. They like to tie publishers down to multi-game deals, so I would think this one was along with the luminous Avenger game from a couple of months back. We'll have to see, but I'm fairly confident. And our executive producers Boombox, Alexander Kato, Dane Wilkinson, Elisa, and Punky Deuster have all chosen this as their pick of the upcoming imports. Omen of Sorrow is a PlayAsia exclusive set sometime in June, but don't be surprised if it gets pushed back as always. This is a fighter, not their usual style. It's an indie game that features horror-esque characters, Frankenstein's monster, Imhotep, and so on. Looks decent enough, and this is the definitive edition apparently. Standard edition and collector's editions are still available for pre-order right now. Rush Rally Collection, I always flip that. Rush Rally Collection is the final PlayAsia exclusive that's on this list, their more recent one, and in all honesty, I think this is going to be their slowest selling game ever. I'm not a Square Enix executive, so my expectations aren't in the stratosphere when it comes to earning affiliates of PlayAsia games, but this was easily the worst selling one of them all for us. I think when it went up for pre-order, when the sales went up, I think we got 5 orders, which is really, really, really low compared to all the others, which is a pity since these two arcade rally games are pretty decent, although I do understand why they don't appeal to everybody. And finally we have Witch on the Holy Night, which is frankly mind-blowing. Well, maybe to about 0.1% of you, since this is a visual novel developed by Type Moon, and this will be the first time they've ever officially had one of their VNs translated to English, which is very exciting to see how this may affect the chances of Tsukihime getting a proper translation, considered to be one of the greatest VNs of all time. This is no slouch either, according to Japanese readers. You can't actually pre-order this one as of yet, since it doesn't actually have a solid release date. It's just there waiting for that release date announcement. I'll let you know when pre-orders open for this one, and our executive producer Raven Knight has chosen this as their pick of the upcoming imports. Alright, the community spotlight, let's take a look at what you guys have picked up. Andrew Spinella sent in this photo of a handful of games. Sean Bean would be very proud of one of these. Bastards. Burai Murian sent in the lovely Jubilee Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura. I actually didn't see any reviews for this one, so I have no idea how it holds up in terms of gameplay or performance, so if you've played it, let me know, is it worth the boobage? Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this picture of 13 Sentinels. Are you all enjoying this one? It's on my list of games to pick up, but that's only after I've paid off the mortgage in about 20 years. Chewit sent in this picture of a few games, including Dark, which was distributed by Limited Run. I think they might still have some of those, or maybe they shoved them off to their Amazon store. I don't know about that one. Chopko Loco James sent in this very obscure import of Aberembo Tengu and Zombie Nation, which are two NES shooters. Well, they're basically the same game, but yeah, this is available in Japan in this shiny collector's edition. But if you remember, Strictly Limited already had pre-orders open for this one in Europe, and I'm not sure how that's getting along. Craig Morgan picked up these two titles. I've seen a lot of critical unhappiness towards Switch Sports, people saying it's a bit undercooked, lacking in content, but I'm not sure what people are expecting. Executive producer Elisa sent in this triple threat of games. Torna is apparently going for a very high price in North America these days. Not sure why, since probably tens of thousands of these were printed. You guys are nuts over there. Garzilla sent in this photo with the gorgeous artwork for the collector's edition of Neptunia Kagura, and of course it wouldn't be a Senran game without a scroll as a bonus. Executive producer God of Resident in this photo of these recent pickups. A lot of people have been enjoying Lego Star Wars. I did question what they could have possibly done to have taken so long making this one, but it seems clear they really wanted to elevate this release beyond others. It's still simple, sure, but a lot more going on this time around. James Blackwell probably paid the big bucks for this Ikaruga Collector's Edition. Such a pity it was only available on Nicholas's website. I mean, even the Japanese version sold out in about, 2 seconds. Stupidly expensive these days. Caterpie sent in this photo with 2 Switch games. Are you all still playing Arceus? I know Pokemon usually lasts in its post-game or, its online modes, which I believe this is lacking. Is there any room for a Nuzlocke challenge on this one maybe? I have no idea. Don't know how it works. Marty Marson in this photo, they picked up both Dusk Diver games. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Idea Factory will be publishing Dusk Diver 2 in the West later this summer, just in case you were on the fence with the Japanese version. Executive producer Robotech sent in this photo of the latest Asteroid Crater. And there's also some Switch games in there too, one of which I think made quite the impact. Sarah Baker managed to get Food Girls 1. I don't know if this was part of the restock on Play Asia or anything, but either way, I really did enjoy this. It's simple, fairly shallow, but charming at the same time for me. Starvey picked up these if you used our Play Asia links. Thanks ever so much. They got in the restock of the World of Final Fantasy Maxima and Hack Quad Pack of JRPGs. If you missed the first wave, don't worry, Play Asia got them back in stock last week. Links are below if you don't live in North America. Executive producer Vay sent in this collection of games, which includes the uncensored Pocky and Rocket game, which is a great game, by the way. And I have to say, I know I joked last week about, saying if I earned like $20. Well, I actually did, surprisingly, so thank you. When the weather is a little better over here, I'll show you my daughter's ice cream. William Hutchins sent in this photo with a big helping of games, especially those delicious imports. Some fine RPGs, many of them the Korean version with their interesting take on the age ratings. Quite like it. Executive producer Issa sent in this photo. They got in the letter from Play Asia. That's almost completely sold out, like Love Esquire, so be careful if you're on the fence. Don't miss out. Alright, let's have a roundup. It's going on quite a long time this episode. Yusha! No Face! JP, Shaft Zero, The One, Psych Villain, Joshua Brown, Pabs, Ilundara, McLaren, Ashura G, Jim, Min Q, Needless Dragon, Invazozim, Shadow 007, Radio to Rancid, N0. Alright, send me pictures on Twitter, so what about game? You can DM me or tag me in a post if you want to risk it for a biscuit. Use the hashtag Let's Get Physical, by the way. And we have an email address, SwitchWatchSpotlight@gmail.com. And we have a Discord. The server link is below in the description. And if you put your picture there, you put it in the submissions section. If you put it anywhere else, I won't see it, okay? And please just send me one picture per week. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this slightly it's long and short episode of Let's Get Physical. I hope you enjoyed it. Special thanks to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, J-Cross7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Issa, Vey, Mental Traveler, Grantsert, Viz, Jennifer M. Thank you ever so much for your support, plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, what an absolute legend you are. If you did watch all the way through, show me with an emoji of either a bald guy or an owl in honor of Baldo the Guardian Owl, or some dude sunbathing on Mount Fuji. I don't know, just choose one of those and I'm golden. Yeah, okay, check out some of our other stuff. I don't know what's coming this week. Yeah, I'm a bit all over the place right now, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next video, whenever that is. Take care!